Hey everybody, Beatronaut here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been a while since we played this one. And in this series, I think we're going to try and recreate the Duna base mission that I failed so miserably in the last one. But to start with, we're not going to do anything with Duna just yet. We've got to put some comm satellites up so we can run, oh there we go, relay sats. So we've got 3 of them. And let's see, as you can see, they've all got some ion propulsion, some power, and some relay satellite dishes, or relay dishes. Now there's 3 of them because I'm going to put them in an orbit where they all see each other, but they all see almost all of Kerbin. When this is all said and done, the only places on Kerbin that won't be covered with a relay is the very extreme poles, and maybe even then. But anyway, that's our ship. So let's go ahead and launch it. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do play with some mods. I will gather a list of those and put them in the description for you. So anyway, we are going to go to, yeah, let's do 100 kilometers. We want a 0 inclination. And I'm going to go ahead and launch these, and I will bring you guys back with me when we are in orbit. Okay, and now we are in orbit. Now there's going to be a little wobbliness because these are connected by docking ports rather than separatrons. So when I do move it, it's a little wobbly because it's not a solid connection. Excuse me. So anyway, we still have some fuel left in here, so we're going to use that to get our orbit out there. So what we're looking for is around 6.5 million kilometers, if I recall correctly. So let's do a quick save real quick, just so just in case the Kraken comes out and destroys everything. And then we throttle up. Burning prograde. Now these are not going to be geostationary satellites. They're not going to look at the same piece of Kerbin all the time. My goal here is to have the same orbit. Okay, that's 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6. I think that's probably where we should be. Okay, so we've circularized, and now we are at 6.5, a little over 6.5 million on my apoaps and periaps. Now, how high my apoaps and periaps are not important. What is important is our orbital period. So right now we're at 3 days, 0 hours, and 2 minutes. Now we're just a little long. So the whole idea here is we're going to put 3 satellites in pretty much the same orbit with equal distance between each other. In order to maintain that distance, we want all 3 satellites to have the exact same orbital period. Now, I'm never going to get them exact, but we're going to get as close as we can. Now, if you try and do set your orbits up using apoapsis and periapsis for each one, it's much more difficult, and it's much more difficult to get it the exact same for each of them. And the problem is, if you don't have the exact same orbit, then their orbital period is different. So they don't maintain their positioning. And it's actually very surprising. I tried to do it by apoapsis and periapsis a couple times, and it's surprising how quickly that all of a sudden all your relay satellites are on one side of the planet, and you can't see anything on the other side. So, and I actually ran across this particular method on a YouTube video. Can't remember who it was. If I could remember, I would totally give them a thank you. But doing it by time is much more reliable. So we're gonna do a 3-day orbital period. And the reason I picked 3 days is because since we're using 3, it's best to pick an orbital period that you can divide by 3. because we need to space all these out without deviating from our orbits too much. So what we're going to do here is we are going to, let's see, we're a little long, so we need to get rid of that, and we need to go retrograde. Oh, we need to get rid of this. Let's do a quick save first. Get rid of that. And we'll take our thrust as far down as we can, because we want to get it as close as we can with the big engine, and then when we separate the first one, we'll use the little engine on it. So, burn a little bit, get rid of that minute and something seconds. We're getting close. Okay, so that's about as close as we're going to get with the big engine. So what we'll do is we'll face a different direction. Watch how wobbly it is. And then we'll separate this top one. Now when you separate them, it changes the orbital period, so it does require, after decoupling, it's going to require a little bit of massaging. So we want to activate engine, we want to bring our thrust way down. And oh yeah, we're going to need lots of power. And we're 2 days, 5 hours, and 50 minutes. So we need to go prograde. Give it some thrust. Oh, too much. So now we go retrograde. Getting close. Okay, so that's pretty much right on. That's as good as I've ever gotten it, actually. Okay, so that one's set. We'll leave that here, and we'll go to not that. These guys. We'll go retrograde. So the reason I did a 3-day orbital period is so when we're setting up the distances between these, we've got an orbital period that's easily divisible by 3. So what we'll do is we'll cut 1 day off the orbital period, do an entire orbit, and then circularize our orbit back to a 3-day, and we should be almost exactly 1/3 the way around the orbit from the first one. In theory. Actually, kind of in practice too. I've done this a couple times. Oh yeah, we do want to bring our thrust back up. So we want to go down to a 2-day orbital period, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to quick save. Oh, too much. We went too far. And we went too far again. This is all about paying attention to the details and not overshooting your marks. So we'll drop this a little bit and bring her back down. Okay. So, and now at this point, so this should bring us, after one full orbit, we should be about 1/3 of the way ahead of the little one that we deployed already. So let's do this number. We'll warp here. Oh, and I completely forgot to quick save. Want to go prograde? And we want to bring our thrust back up because we want to go back up to a 3-day orbital period. Oh, overshot it a little bit, but that should be fine. Make sure we're pointed prograde and bring up the throttle. Okay. Bring it back. Oh, wait. That's 2 days and 1 hour. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Oh! We need to go a lot more prograde. Now, a day, and a Kerbin day is 6 hours, so that's kind of important to remember. Now we bring it down, we fine tune it just a touch. Okay, and that's about as close as we're going to get with the big engine. So we'll do the same thing we did last time. We will decouple, activate engine, we'll get away a little bit, deploy all of our solar panels, bring this way down. Okay, so we are 3 hours and 6 seconds, so we need to go retrograde. See, this is it right here. Okay, oh! Dang it. Retrograde, we want... Ah! It didn't shut off. Okay, I think that's about as close as we're gonna get. So there's number 2. So now we gotta do it one more time. Bring our thrust limiter back up. Go retrograde. Now, see, we should be exactly 1/3 the way around the orbit from this first one that we dropped. Now when we do it again, this last one is going to be ahead of the one we just dropped, and we should have 3 satellites with 3 equal distances between them. Or with equal distance between each. Hope that makes sense. So we're retrograde, and we want to bring our orbital period back down to 2 days. We want to fine tune it just a touch. Gosh dang it. Okay, that'll work. And let's go ahead and do this. And we will cheat here. maneuver planner. There we go. Circularize at the next Apple apps. Create and execute. Yeah, quick save while we remember. Excuse me. Just had a thought. We might want to be ready to abort that because we're not a perfectly circular orbit anyway. Oh crap. I forgot. Prograde. Get rid of that. Oh wow, we went way too far. Oopsie. That's what I get for getting in a hurry. Okay, and at this point, we will go ahead and quick save, and we will get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. There we go. Bring our thrust down. Bring the rest of our power out. There we go. Oh, there we go. We weren't activated. Oh, we need to go prograde. Hope we don't run into that. 9. Okay, we'll retrograde just a touch. Ah. Okay, so there we go. Now we have our 3, oh, we can get rid of that. Now we have our 3 relay satellites spaced equally around Kerbin. And this will cover everything except maybe the most extreme poles. And I'm going to go ahead and do this same thing at Duna, so we'll be ready when it comes time to do our, recreate our Duna base that we failed so miserably with last time. And this one here, this is our long-range relay. This is our big dish that's way out there, so it can relay between planets. Because these aren't big enough, and they're in the plane of the planets, and they get blocked a lot more. But when we have another ship that needs controlled that's out at Jewel or Duna or whatever, we can use this one as a relay down to either KSP itself or KSC, sorry, or it can relay through one of these relay satellites. But anyway, so that's my quick and dirty relay network. Hope you guys like this. Maybe some of you might have found it helpful, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, if you do like it, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and please give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see, if you'd like to see something special or something different. Whatever. Just let me know. This is Beach or Not, and we will see you next time.